Hey everyone, how's it going? Today, I'm going to review the Ultimate Clone Saga. Let's begin. The did you cut my hair? Whatever. Okay, let's begin the review. Now, the Ultimate Clone Saga is all really different from the original. One, the story. Now, what happens is that when Peter Parker encounters the Scorpion, he fights the Scorpion, and the Scorpion's saying some really crazy stuff. He's like, "Who are you, Masked Mystery Man?" and something about a zoo, and Peter's just trying to go with it and just says, "You're just freaking crazy." And when he punches out Scorpion's mask, it turns out that he is, Peter Parker, and he's kind of wondering of what the heck's going on, and he goes to Fantastic Four, and he reveals his secret identity to the Four, and tells them, I'm Peter Parker, and I have no idea who this guy is, and it turns out he's a clone. Peter's kind of weird out that he has a clone and wondering who cloned him, even as we all know it's Ben Reilly because of the Spider-Man Carnage storyline that I already talked about. And later on, MJ gets kidnapped by the Ultimate Kane, and Peter also encounters the, Ultimate Spider-Woman, and, he sees Gwen Stacy, but it turns out to be a clone, which has, a little bit of the Carnage, creature inside of her, because they apparently took the DNA from Gwen Stacy's body, which was apparently still contaminated with the Carnage cells. Um, and then just full blown a bunch of freaking big stuff happens in the story. A lot of stuff that changes, Peter Parker's life in the comic books. Um, like for example, it's the story where Peter tells Aunt May that he's Spider-Man. Um, I can only sum the story up as just really well done. I think they did a really good job. It was a big improvement from the original. Um, I have only really two problems. One is that besides Scorpion and Spider Woman, the other characters don't really get to have any development. Yeah, we have that the whole thing with Kane is that he's kind of like a twisted Peter Parker where he wants to experiment on MJ so he doesn't have to worry about her. But we never really got any detail of why he's like this, or you know why he thinks this is a really good idea. We don't really get anything from him besides that. Um, and with the other clone, who at first I thought was Doppelganger, but turned out to be Tarantula. We don't know anything about him. There's no moment whatsoever in the story where we learn any of his personality. He's we don't know if he is exactly like Peter, if he's a darker version, how he feels about being like more spider than man. We don't get any of that. The only thing memorable about him is apparently his costume, since that costume is going to be used for another spider-themed character in the Dark Avengers. Um, and that's kind of about it. The other thing is that besides Kane, no other clone is seen. Actual Peter Parker clones that were used in the Clone Saga, the original. There's no Ben Reilly, and no, I'm not counting the Ultimate Ben Reilly, or I guess I can count Carnage, but he's only in one story. After that, Gwen's Carnage for a while. Um, and there's no doppelganger. I'm not saying have Spider-Sai or Jack in there, but at least have clones that did make a pretty good impact, and the Spider-Man comics during that time. Um, I thought that was kind of weird. Um, the writing is very well done. I think they did a great job of writing. It's Brian Michael Bendis, the guy who has written Ultimate Spider-Man since the very first issue, and is still doing that with Miles Morales. Um, which no, I haven't really been able to pick up some of the story. I've only been able to get a few of the issues, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be on. I have to get this in trade. Um, the artwork is done by Bagley, who did a good um, majority of the artwork for Ultimate Spider-Man, um, and then he did the artwork for the Death of Spider-Man storyline. Um, like the only thing I can really say about it is that, just summing up, it's very good, and if you are like an Ultimate Spider-Man fan, you're gonna like it. If you're a regular Spider-Man fan, I'm pretty sure you're gonna enjoy it. You know, that's all I gotta say about Ultimate Spider-Man. All I gotta say. I hope you liked this video. Goodbye.